Hi friends, it's Ashley from Ashley's Paper Heart, and today I thought we could do a little journal catch up. I have been neglecting a few of my journals, not my Hobonichi, but I do need to do some lettering in here, but I thought we could kind of jump around and work, and you can see what it looks like when I'm jumping around into different journals. And yeah, we can just kind of hang out and tell you what's going on. So let's see. First, let's start in my Hobonichi because honestly, that's going to be the easiest one. I mostly finished my journaling for the day in this one. So I did a video showing this new cover from Chic Sparrow that I have. This is the Giovanni leather. I have to say, it's growing on me. It really is, like the squish. I don't know if I would like it as much if I didn't have such a thick notebook in here, but I'm really starting to like it. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my charm from bouncing all over the place and making a bunch of noise. So yes, I'm starting to like this cover. And I put recently a few washi cards, sample cards, kind of around. I have this one here. This was actually a sample card that I purchased from Paper Game Co. You can see they're like little ink girls, and I thought it was so cute. So yeah, I've been doing that. So what I do need to do is I need to do my weekly stuff. So typically in this week section, I kind of use it to practice my hand lettering. Here's a full week. This was last week. So I write highlights of the day, or things that are going on in the news. Just I guess these are my headlines. And then I, of course, put stickers everywhere. This is definitely what I refer to as my hot mess pages. They're just very random. They're not cohesive at all. And honestly, I really like that. Sometimes it's fun to just play and not worry about things being pretty. So, let's see. I try to vary the colors quite a bit. So, what did we do today? I worked. My son had speech. It rained all day, so that's actually kind of a big deal because it does not rain here super often. Now hopefully I don't mess this up, because usually when I'm doing this it's quiet and I'm concentrating and I'm not trying to talk. So yeah, it rained all day. And last night the rain was so bad and the wind was so bad. Sorry, I'm trying to write and talk. The wind and the rain were so bad that it kept me awake for a good portion of the night. It was really bad. It sounded like someone was banging on the window. That's how loud it was. It was I could not sleep through that. So I'm writing last night. The wind and rain kept me up. I don't always write these little annotations, but sometimes I do. Let's see what else of importance happened. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head, but I do want to put something for Wednesday. The state of California is reenacting the statewide mask mandate, so that is kind of important. So statewide mask. And I'm not trying for perfection. See, this is going to be tricky because there we go. I made it fit. That's a win. When I'm doing the lettering, I'm not like super trying for perfection or whatever. It's just getting it in there. And I will probably write something here later. I just don't know what. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. And usually when I have like a big empty space, I'll just put stickers or washi or something there to kind of fill it up. I don't typically pre-decorate these, but I had all these Christmas stickers from Sticky Club, I think. And so I just wanted to use these and made sure that, they actually got in here. So here is my dilemma. Something that I know I want to add to one of these journals. I don't know which one yet. My daughter, so our nanny takes them to this like indoor play place, and it's called the Hideout, and the kids really love it there, and they can do like arts and crafts and stuff like that. And so my daughter brought this home, her picture of, she's really into the My Little Pony New Generation, the one that's on Netflix, the movie. So she drew all of the ponies. And apparently ponies have like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 legs. I don't have the heart to tell her that, hey, maybe 4 is a good spot. But she told me who all of these were. I think this one's supposed to be Izzy. And then there's their cutie mark. The funny thing is, like, I feel like this is full circle for me, because when I was a little girl, I loved My Little Ponies. Like, I had so many of like the little figures, and they had like the little hoof marks, like the indentions on the bottom, and you could like put them on stuff in their castle and it would like move things. So I feel like this is like full circle. My daughter is definitely loves My Little Ponies like the way I did, but of course they look way different now than they did when I was a kid. So what I'm trying to decide, if I'm going to put this in my Hobonichi or in my traveler's journal or in my junk journal. And I'm kind of leaning towards putting it in my Hobonichi. I had an idea. Let me see if I can pull this out really quick. So, I didn't even realize these were in there. Okay, well that was a little treasure. What are these? These are little cards. Are these like, do these come in packs of gum? Or no, they're cigarette cards. I totally forgot I had these. Okay, these are cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to use these in something. It's hard not to hoard stuff like that. So I have these like, they're like these vintage glassine little bags. You can definitely tell they're aged. Sorry, it's kind of getting blown out. But you see, like, it's got kind of like that tinge to it. I would have to fold this up more, but I was thinking about making this into a pocket, and putting it in there. But I don't know. And then another part of me was like, well, what if I like staple it here? That way I could fold it and then fold. I guess I'd have to fold it. So I'd staple it. Cannot figure this out. Okay. If I stapled it there, that would be upside down. Okay. So it would need to sit here. I'm going to figure this out, I promise. I would need to fold it up, so... Blah! Anyway, I need to put this in because I just think it's really darling and I want to hold on to it. And I kind of want to put it in my Hobonichi, so we're going to figure this out. So if I put it there, if I staple it in the corner... And then I'll just fold it over. So it's like that. So that way it's attached there and I can open it like this. I think that's what we're going to do. If I can get this like kind of straight. This is like, she drew this on construction paper, and like all the stuff that she brings home, it's always like odd. shapes. Like, it looks like they tore it out of a book or something, and I don't know. And of course it's not folding nicely. That's my, like, type A personality. I want it to fold perfectly, but it's not going to, so I have my tiny little stapler. I don't think I've ever actually stapled anything into here, and I'm kind of concerned about how well this paper... Have you guys stapled anything into the Hobonichi? You know what? We're just going to do it. We're going to just do it. I wonder if I put... I was like, if I put some washi tape, it might, like, give it some more, like, bulk. Okay, decisions. Well, we're just going to go for it. And if I mess up this page, I mess up this page. It's not a big deal. So I'm just going to do 2. There we go. Just to make sure that it stays in place. And of course I put it so low. Okay, we're going to cut that bottom part off. See, this is real life, folks. I struggle. Okay, we're going to cut that off. Hopefully I'm not cutting off any part of the image that matters. Because I don't really want to, like, take this out again. And I think I'm just going to live with the piece that sticks out there. Maybe. I think I can cut that off too. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it down. I should have done this before sticking it in there. And it's not going to be straight, but it's something that I want to keep because honestly, like, her artwork and her creativity really, it really inspires me and blows me away with, like, how much she loves to draw. And I hope that she keeps that, like, with her. I hope that that's something that she continues to do. Maybe for my own selfish reasons, because I like to do that stuff as well. But I think she's really good at it. Of course, what parent doesn't think their kid is, like, an amazing artist, right? Okay, so we did that. And I think I mostly finished my writing in here for the day. I did, mostly. I don't think I had anything else to say. So this is what the page looked like from today. I actually really like the way the spread turned out, so I'm really happy with it. I've noticed that my journaling style is kind of changing a little bit. Before, like, I didn't put these, like, little headlines or do tip-ins. But I've started doing that in some places. I will say, and I think I said this in the last book, I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me say this, but I feel like the, what is that? I feel like the binding is just not holding up the same way that it did the first book that I had. The first Hobonichi that I had, I think I'm gonna put some washi tape over this just to, like, because now that I'm bumping into it, let's see, what washi tape do we want to put over this? I think we're gonna use this. The first book that I had, I used the full year one, and it got really chunky, really chunky, and the binding held up really well. But I feel like this is my first year using the Avec, and the binding's not holding up as well as I had hoped. So if you have a chunky Hobonichi, let me know if you feel like that's the same way for you. Like here I had to put some tape just because the binding was starting to separate. Like you can kind of see it like right here. I don't know if you can or not, but it's separating just a tiny bit, and I did put tape there, and I had to do it in one of these pages as well, except I like really messed it up when I did it, and then I had to like tape it on the back too. Is it this one? It's this one. So I like taped it here and then it wasn't laying flat, so I tried to cut it, and then I cut into the page and I messed it up, and I had to tape it on that side too, and it was just a mess. Okay, so I think we're done with this one. Sorry, I kind of have a runny nose just because the weather is like I said, it rained last night, and it's also pretty cold outside. So yeah, that makes my nose run. So I'm trying to decide. I have kind of fallen out of love with my junk journal recently. And honestly, like, I wasn't feeling super connected to this one. I had purchased this one quite a while ago from Cassie from Dust to Roses. And when I first bought it, like, I really loved it. It's like moon celestial themed, and I thought it was really beautiful. But then, like, I don't know, I just haven't been feeling super connected to it, so I kind of haven't been using it. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do Junk Journal January. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that. I may do, like, a prompt here and there. I don't know. Are you guys going to do that? So I've been I want to try to fill this up just so that I can move on and not feel like I'm leaving something unfinished. And I mean, I have a lot of beautiful things in here. I have stuff from Pen Pals, and I guess, like, for me, the main thing that I like junk journals for is I can put, like, the really chunky ephemera or, like, you know, wax seals and stuff like that, and I don't have to worry about it the same way the Hobonichi, where it's just, like, sometimes it can bulk up beyond belief and it's just too much. At least with, like, the junk journals, there's a lot less pages. So, like, okay, here's one thing. This is a cabinet card, and this came with it. This is a fake cabinet card. It's not real. It's using a printable or something, and she included it in there. And I'm just, like, not feeling it. I'm just, I don't know. And honestly, I should probably write here. I didn't write anything on these pages. I'm just, like I said, not feeling super connected to this journal right now. It's been sitting on my dresser for a long time, but I do have some things that I was thinking about putting in here. I have to be careful not to show the back of this because it has my address, but this is a postcard that one of my pen pals sent me, and I was thinking about putting it in here. And then I also have a Christmas card that she sent me, the same pen pal, that I want to put in somewhere. And I'm thinking I might put them in the junk journal just because there's, like, room for it. So what I was thinking about doing is doing, like, a brad. Sorry for the glare. Put these to the side until I'm ready. I was thinking about using a brad to attach it to, like, a thicker page. Like this page. This page is, like, it feels like cardstock. Actually might be cardstock, just so that it has something to hold on to, and then I could put it here and let it, like, fold out a little bit just so that it's not, like, getting stuck in the binding. And there's plenty of room because things stick out of this book. And if I use a brad, I could, like, move it up if I wanted to write, which I may do. I don't know. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna stop being indecisive. So what have you guys been journaling in recently? I know, like, right now my Instagram feed is mostly my Hobonichi. I have not really been posting any junk journal things. Okay, sorry. I hope that it's okay that I'm showing the inside of this. She's one of my favorite pen pals that I have. So hopefully she's not, like, offended that I'm showing this, but okay. So let's put the brad in. It's like I don't have any nails right now. I'm trying. These, like, tiny ones can be even more unruly than, like, the larger ones. So there we go. So now it folds up and I can open it, and it kind of sticks out a little bit, but that's okay because there's a bunch of things that stick out. Okay, so I added this here. I think I might put this in my traveler's notebook. So that's the thing. You know what? Let's do a little bit of collage on here. And I may come back and write in this later. I don't know. It depends if I'm like feeling it. What was I saying? My traveler's notebook. So I have been trying to figure out what I'm going to be using next year for like planners and stuff. So typically I sat down and I wrote like what things, like what needs I have for a planner next year. And so obviously I have a work planner that is my freelance work, and I really like to keep that separate because I don't want to see all the, you know, to-dos and stuff that I need to get done for work. I don't want to see that when I'm like thinking about personal projects or art projects. So I want to keep that separate. Let's see what I have in here. I need to clean this out. This is my like junk paper, like scrap paper. These actually came from her, so I think I'm gonna put one of these in here. Let's do this one. So I've been really happy like with my traveler's notebook right now, and I haven't been journaling in it, but my planner that I use for my household planner, I really like having like the multiple notebooks and like a bunch of stuff all in one spot. And I actually put my work planner in there as well. So I've been really happy with that, and I'm really thinking next year, instead of like junk journaling, I guess it's still, I could like do junk journaling style, but not in a junk journal necessarily. I want to like switch into traveler's notebooks. So right now I have been watching so many like traveler notebook setups and collections, and just getting really inspired. And then I watch some people who use them regularly, and I don't know, like I'm feeling that right now. And do you ever feel like guilty when you have things and then you fall out of love with them, and you feel like, oh, I need to be using this because I have it, but then you just don't want to use it? That's kind of where I'm at right now. Hopefully that makes sense. I know that I'm kind of rambly right now. It's been a really long day. Work has melted my brain. This week at work has been really tough. It's really solidified why I want to get out of the advertising industry. Advertising is so deceptive in its nature, I feel like. Like, there are companies that aren't like that. Like, I can't talk about the clients I'm working with because that would probably get me fired, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm working with a few like national brands at the agency that I'm working with, and like, you know, when you get emails or just anything, any sort of like marketing materials from larger companies, and they're like, you can save up to this much, and then there's a little asterisk, and then you like scroll down and read it, and it's actually like half that much. And I'm like, well, why are you putting deceptive copy in there in the first place when you're not actually, like, that's not actually what's going on? You're lying to your customer. You're forcing them to hunt, to look for things. And it just wears on me, you know? I'm having like a little bit of a moral crisis with it, I guess. And not every client is like that. It's, where is the end of this? This is actually a sample, and if I can't find the end of it, I can't use it. Oh, everything is hard today. So I'm having a little bit of a moral crisis with this. And this isn't the first time I've worked for larger companies. This isn't the first time that I've had to deal with this. It's just my patience for it is extremely low at the moment. So, like, okay, let's just use this as an example. Look at some of these, like, smaller brands from, like, smaller companies, and companies that I would consider that have good ethics. So, like, if you look at a lot of stationery companies, like, let's just look at Traveler's Company, or let's look at Bomkuchen. Gosh, I can't pronounce it. Please don't roast me. But, like, look at these smaller companies, stationery companies. And not every stationery company is, like, inherently, like, honest and good. But a lot of them seem to be. They don't have, like, the little asterisks at the bottom, you know, where you have to, like, read through all the deceptive BS to figure out what's going on. Like, some of these companies, like, have, like, a true love for their products, and they're not just trying to sell you everything. I mean, some of them are. And obviously, you know, new releases and stuff come out like crazy, but some of them, like, really care. Like, so I've been reading more and more of, like, the email newsletters from, is it Bomkuchen? I apologize. I am awful at pronouncing things, and I always get paranoid that I'm mispronouncing things. But, like, if you read their newsletters and stuff, they're talking about how they mindfully create things. They mindfully create products. They want products that you purchase from them to last and to mean something to you. And to me, and the same with, like, Traveler's Notebook or Traveler's Company. That's kind of, like, what they do as well. And I'm just like, why can't all companies do that? Like, why do we have to, like, incessantly try to sell and buy and not to say that, you know, consumerism is inherently bad. It's not. Obviously, like, I have a lot of stationery and stuff like that, but I genuinely enjoy it, and I think it brings, like, joy to my life. But, like, some of these, like, clothing companies and just other companies that, like, sell memberships for things, and it's just sorry, I'm ranting. I know I'm ranting. I'm just very disillusioned right now, and honestly, I've been disillusioned in my industry for quite a while. It's getting to a point, especially now that I'm pursuing the path of, this is turning, like, very fall. This was not my intention. It is, like, you know, almost Christmas, and I'm, like, sitting here making everything very fall-like. I'm just getting to the point where my tolerance is so low for it, and it takes everything in me not to say something that's going to get me fired. Like, in meetings. I'm just, like, over it. And it just, like, reiterates why I want to pursue my MFA and to go into art and teaching, and why I want to be more mindful with where I spend my money. That I want the companies that I spend my money at, whenever possible, to align with my values. And I know that is a very privileged place to be in, because obviously, like, some people can't afford, and I have been in place in my life where I couldn't afford to, like, make those decisions, but I can now, and I will. I'm gonna keep going with this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm more honestly right now, minus, like, the little spending spree, the little impromptu spending spree, which kind of was, like, a symptom of me being so frustrated at work. I was like retail therapy. Besides that, I have been like spending very little on honestly much of anything. I have been buying art supplies when I need them, but not buying them in excess. And I've been doing a lot more creating and making. And honestly, like, I'm a lot happier that way. And like, squishing my notebooks and holding my notebooks and writing and just trying to get like all those like thoughts out of my head. I've been a lot happier doing that. And sharing and, you know, writing and that's kind of like where I'm at right now. Hopefully like this rant didn't like make people run for the hills. I promise I don't rant all the time. It's just like you get in that headspace, and I figured since we're all friends here, let's talk. Let me know in the comments below what you think about like how companies market to you. I'm really curious to know what other people think about this. Are you fed up with it? Do you feel like it's like constantly like you're tired of like the constant advertising thrown at you? Are there companies that have like completely turned you off to their products because of the way that they advertise to you? I'm really curious to know if am I alone in this? Am I the only one who feels this way? I want to put something here, but I don't know what to put there. It needs to be simple. Maybe one of these numbers. Let's do that. Let's do a red number. So yeah, that's kind of like where my head has been the past couple days. I've been doing a lot of art too. I don't know if I talked about this in a previous video or not. So I'm a part of this community called Art Prof. I'm a part of their Patreon and stuff, but like I'm also like on their Discord servers, and they do monthly like art challenges. And so this month's challenge is to create 20 pieces of artwork for one single subject. So I've been working on that recently. What I chose was my husband and I, we took the kids to this place called Vasquez Rocks. It's up in, is it Agua Dulce? I think it's like north of Santa Clarita, I believe, or maybe like just south of it. It's near Santa Clarita. Let's just say that. I think we're gonna stop there, and I'm gonna put something here later. I'm gonna write. I'm just like really bad at writing and talking at the same time. So we're gonna call this done. I actually like how this turned out. I think it's cute. What do you think? So anyway, we went up there and I got a bunch of reference photos for future artworks. So I have been doing, I think I'm up to 10 now. I have 10 pieces of art that I've done of these rocks, and they look like alien-like almost, which makes a lot of sense. I believe they're sandstone. And they actually film a lot of movies and television shows out there, a lot of sci-fi, because like I swear those rocks look like they're from Mars. And I really need to print some photos and put them in my journal, but I haven't done that. So this is my traveler's notebook that I also have not been in recently, just because I haven't been doing a lot of journaling outside of my Hobonichi, but that's going to change in the coming weeks. Like, I just want to get back into it. I'm happier when I'm doing that. So let's turn to a new page. And here was like kind of just, I don't know, like this was super freeform, what I have in here so far. Like, I was drawing and writing, and I know it's very blown out so you can't see that I was writing in there. But just like really just doing whatever the heck I felt like, and I really, really like it. So I think I'm going to be doing more of this instead of junk journaling. I mean, this is kind of junk journaling. I may make some of my own inserts using like vintage papers, but I haven't decided yet. But that's definitely on my brain. I left this all open and I need to write in here, but I don't feel like doing that right now. But what I wanted to do was to put this postcard somewhere. So I had to cut it down just a tiny bit, just widthwise, because it was a little unruly. So I think I'm going to put it on this side. This is Picasso, if anyone does not know. And it does have writing on the back and has my address. So we are not going to flip that up, are we? I have like nearly flashed my address several times on this channel, and I am determined not to do that because then I have to try to edit it out, and that's just a big old mess. So what was I talking about? Vasquez rocks. So they look very alien, sci-fi. They remind me of what rocks might look like on Mars, and they're just really cool. So I took a bunch of reference photos, and I've been like doing just a whole array of studies on different ways to draw them, drawing them from different angles, drawing them in a more abstract way, using crazy colors, that aren't natural, using different mediums. Like I pulled out my soft pastels. I have not used soft pastels since I was in college, really. Like that's what we used a lot in life drawing classes. And typically I paint, so watercolor, oil, acrylic. But it was honestly pretty nice to get back into that. And I think if I can get some like good photos or scans of them, I may like release some of the artwork as printables or something, just because I'm going to have 20 pieces. So might as well do something with them. Some of them may end up in my portfolio as well. So I want to add a few things here. How many times can you subtract 10 from 100? It's random. I believe a pen pal sent me this, but I don't know. Yeah. Once. The next time you'll be subtracting 10 from 90. I guess these kind of go together, huh? I just think they're cool. I like the typography on them. Let's do this one. So yeah, I may be releasing that later on as like a printable. I don't know where I'll put it. Maybe I'll like have a Dropbox or something. Not sure. Or maybe I'll do prints. I don't know. And sell prints like artwork. I want to put some of this here. So yeah, I've really been working on that outside of work. Work has been stressing me out, like I said, so I'm trying hard to find things to occupy my brain so I'm not thinking about the things that stress me out, which is probably a good thing to do. So have you guys figured out your planner lineups yet, or your journal lineups for 2022? I feel like I'm still figuring it out. I did write down a list. I'm actually going to be starting some new things, and I hope I can keep up with them. But I really like playing in notebooks, and like a part of me was sitting there and wondering, like, why do I do this? Why do I have so many journals or notebooks? And is this excessive? And is this meaningless, or does it mean something? And then I was like, who the heck cares if it means something? It means something to me, and that's what matters. And I think that, like, my brain specifically, I don't know if other people feel that way, but I feel like I have to be productive and do things that matter and work towards towards goals to feel like I'm doing something, like that I'm worthy. And when I don't do that, or if I'm questioning if what I'm doing matters, like, and matters to who, like, that's the question. I honestly should be like, does it matter to me? I start like second guessing like what I'm doing. Like sometimes I think, well, why am I spending time making YouTube videos? Like, what's the point? But then I'm like, I have all these like wonderful interactions with you guys, and hopefully I'm bringing joy to someone's life, or at least entertainment. So I guess it does matter. So, and I know like some people would look at like the amount of notebooks I have, or journals that I use, or the amount of writing or drawing I do, and be like, man, you could, you know, instead you could be like having a spotless house, or you could be working more or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? That stuff isn't everything. I'm like thinking on my deathbed, am I going to be saying, oh man, I wish I would have took on a few more clients and worked longer hours? And I don't know. I don't think I would be. I think that stuff honestly doesn't matter. I think the connections we have with people, I'm sorry, I'm all off in my own little rumination of life and the meaning of life and all that. But yeah, hopefully you weren't coming here for like a light topic. Heavens no. But I've just been kind of in that mindset. Like, what matters? What really matters? And I think living our lives, experiencing new things, and doing what brings us joy, that's what matters. Having connections with other humans, that's what matters. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I am not going to sell my soul to a company. So yeah, that's my little rant. Sorry, I meant to put something on this because I know there's like a glare. Let's put this right here. There we go. I should have done that sooner. I apologize. Hopefully that did not bother anyone. But like, I've been watching a lot of journaling videos, and I don't know, I find a lot of joy in watching other people like document their life and just like talk about what they're up to and their interests. And when people are passionate about something, like, it's infectious. Like, you know, it makes you get excited. And I've really found some of that on YouTube, and it's kind of like brightened up my day. And like, some of these creators don't even know that they've brightened my day. Like, when I've had a really rough day at work or a rough day with my kids, that like having that, or like just hearing about other people's life, is just, I don't know, brings me joy. Makes me feel like I'm sitting down with a friend having coffee and talking about all things, which is something I miss. I think that is going to be the end of this. I don't want to like, honestly, I could probably like do paper clusters like all the way up through this whole thing. I'm not going to do that because I am going to come back through and write here. I have a lot on my brain right now. I'm having some like, what would I say? Like a power struggle with my daughter, with my 4-year-old. And I'm like really trying to find ways to deal with it with grace and compassion, and not like be quick to anger. And because like her stubbornness is like causing some health issues, it's just, it's hard. Being a parent is hard. It is really freaking hard. So I've been working through that, like, mentally. and just like, you know, some heavy stuff. Nothing catastrophic, nothing bad, and we have it under control. Took her to the pediatrician yesterday, and we have a plan, and things are going to get better, but it's just, you know, sometimes you have such like wishes and hopes for your kids that they don't have to go through tough things. But then when they do, like, it's hard not to feel like you're a failure as a parent. Because I think for most parents, like, you want to do better than your parents did. You want to be the parent that you wish your parents would have been. And not to say that my parents were bad, but they definitely had their struggles. And being an adult, see, I said I was going to stop, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm going to put more on here. Being an adult and being a parent now myself, I understand a lot more of, like, our parents are human. They're not perfect. And I don't know if I like that there. I think I'm going to keep it there. But all that being said, yeah, I'm going to be journaling in here. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm thinking I will be doing a 2022 setup lineup kind of thing. I think I'm going to do a lineup, and then I'm going to do a few like setups of my planners, and then maybe setups of my like journaling system that I think I'm going to be using in addition to my like regular Hobonichi. Spoiler alert, I am going to be using traveler's notebooks to kind of like, I never like really did brain dumps before, but I feel like more and more, especially as I'm doing art and trying to come up with concepts for pieces, that having a space to like brainstorm would be really helpful for me. And then also like lists and stuff like that. So that will be coming soon. I did make a purchase. So I want to do a setup on a video. But oh my gosh. Okay, we're already like at 46 minutes. So we're going to stop. I'm going to stop talking. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed my rambly journal kind of craziness. And if you're going through a hard time, just know I am sending you big virtual hugs. My Instagram DMs are always open if you ever need someone to talk to. I truly do this because I enjoy the connection that I make with people. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.